Let's talk horror news because we got a ton of things that have recently dropped, trailers, we got movies out. This is a pretty good weekend for horror movies because we have The Strangers Chapter 3. Yes, I know, we're all like, will it be good? Will it not? More than likely, it's leaning one way, but we also have Whistle, which is another film that is pretty much on high list for me. And we got some news. So let's get into it. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Let's try to do these horror news once a week. Really get into it because it's been something I've been trying to do for some time now. So make sure you are subscribed. Let's get on with one of the biggest news here. Texas Chain Saw Massacre TV series in the works for May 24, a new film also in development. So I'm going to be honest with you. A little iffy here. I'm excited we get Texas Chain Saw Massacre. TV series sounds interesting. A24 behind it. I don't know. I think A24 is great at acquiring films. I think that they are like Neon. They have a pretty good eye and money, of course, to get films. Now, when it comes to producing stuff, they can be 50-50, I think. So we'll see what happens with that. Strange Darling filmmaker and The Long Walk screenwriter JT Molnar will be spearheading the TV series, and that gets me excited right there because I think JT Molnar is such an interesting and fresh voice in Hollywood right now. Glenn Powell will be executive producing. It doesn't say if he will be starring or not, so we'll see how that eventually will go. And there's potential here, you know, like if they want to explore this idea, I think going origins base is just kind of like corny in my opinion. I think just drive us straight into the action, unless you can do it right. But apparently a new film is also in development. Molnar isn't attached to that project, however. It says that the movie isn't packaged yet, and it's not clear if it's headed to Netflix as they previously had reported. A24, I mean, they do have beef, this TV show with Netflix, so it would make sense, but as a movie, maybe we'll see it with Apple. We'll see what happens there. Not much is being said either here. So Molnar had said, I've said publicly that I'm not interested in remaking perfect films, and the original Texas Chain Saw Massacre is a perfect film. Toby Hooper, as well as Kim Henkel, created something bold, transgressive, and truly seminal that holds up even today as the gold standard for horror. When the opportunity for a long-form exploration into this world arose, I saw it as a fresh way in, and as well as a way to honor the existing folklore. I can't imagine better partners for this approach than A24. This is truly an honor. Glenn Powell went on to say as well, the Texas Chain Saw Massacre is one of my favorite films. It defied a generation of horror films in over half a century after its release. It remains one of the definitive movies of my home state. I'm honored to have Barnstorm help bring in a new chapter for such an iconic title and franchise with a marquee home in A24 and visionary filmmaker with JT Molnar. Alongside our self-producing partners, I couldn't have dreamed of a better team for such a dream property. That's what we have right there from Molnar and Powell, who will be behind the TV series. As I said, and the Deadline report reads, there is no talk about the movie just yet. So I'm very curious what they would be able to accomplish with a TV show. I think there's a lot there with the lore and the folklore, as they say, different movies, there's different family members. The video game was, I think, going in a great direction, and then they just paused that. So that's why I'm kind of iffy with Chainsaw Massacre. But Henkel also commented and says, it was a difficult decision, but A24's embrace of boundary testing genre film and its record of working with artists who are inclined to test boundaries made them a compelling choice. Plus, we believe having a great creative and producing team, JT Molnar, Roy Lee, Dan Cohen, and Glenn Powell, which I think is a really great team right there. That's what I'm saying right there. Let's get back to the quote. In place gives us the best shot at a series that could be genuinely eye-opening and unexpected. There's an epic tale lurking in Chainsaw Story. So we'll see what happens with that. Like I said, I am excited, but I'm a little bit not getting my hopes up just because I think A24 is great at acquiring, but this team seems great like at the same time. So it could be good. It could be good. I think a TV series is the best approach. I think the movies have just sort of felt formulaic and like we've seen it all done. I think a TV show is a great way to explore something. So we'll see. Let's talk about Exit 8, which we just got a trailer for. I'm going to tell you, I've been trying to watch this movie since TIFF. I thought I was going to watch it this night I got lost a bit in the city. I was trying to look for some good Chinese food, and then eventually walked away, wandered too far, and then by the time I realized I was going to watch Exit 8, it was a doozy getting back all the way to the theater, so I didn't make it in time, but I'm excited that it will be releasing on April 10th via Neon, based on the Japanese psychological horror thriller of the same name. This is a game that was created by Kotaku Create, and the film follows a man trapped in an endless sterile subway passageway as he sets out to find Exit 8. So I've seen some gameplay of this Exit 8, and it looks interesting. I was always curious about how they would be able to replicate this into a movie, and I've watched the trailer, and I'm very much so seated for this one. So this actually already hit Japan, and it grossed over $27 million last fall, and I'm excited to see how it's going to be handled. It was also a Cannes and got an 8-minute standing ovation. Of course, that's like a good amount. Everything gets a standing ovation at Cannes. 8 minutes pretty good. I think 5 minutes is kind of like, ugh, but 8 minutes is like middle of the ground. And I'm excited to see what Exit 8 is going to be like on April 10th, so we shall see. So, plot details have been revealed, or so we think, for Insidious 6, and apparently it reads, a trio of stalkers infiltrate a quiet suburb and force a new family into the astral plane, where they uncover a terrifying truth. The further is bleeding into the real world. Stranger Things. That's what I thought immediately. But this is going to be released August 21st, 2026. Lin Shaye is returning. You also, in this one, have a couple of new people. Of course, Blumhouse is behind it. I don't know where the hell the Insidious franchise is right now. I did watch the 5th one, but if you asked me to remember it, I couldn't help you out there. We'll see. Hopefully it's good. But we do have a new trailer for Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, a sequel. I said, I don't think we need this. I watched the trailer and I was like, okay, I'm digging it. Pretty stacked cast. I'm excited. Looks good. I think the first one was amazing. I think the second one's just a little bit more like, I think we're doing a bit too much here, you guys, but we'll see what happens. Now, a movie that I'm going to tell you should definitely put on your watch list for March is going to be the new film Undertone, which I think is one of the scariest movies I've seen. And this is honestly a movie that I implore you, watch it, pay full attention, do not get distracted. It is incredible. It premiered last year at Fantasia Film Festival. I had the amazing opportunity of being able to watch this thanks to covering the Fantasia Film Festival. And when I tell you, I had no clue what I was getting into. I sat down, I watched this film, and I said, my goodness, horror is back, baby. Horror is back. So I'm very excited. We have heard that he will actually be doing the new Paranormal Activity film, which I think is such an interesting choice. The director here, Ian Tuason, because I think that is definitely his realm right there. Because the original Paranormal Activity films, I say 1 through 3, were definitely about making your senses go crazy, and he does that here with sound. I'm excited to see what he does with an even bigger budget. But this, we got a new trailer. I'm telling you, don't watch the trailers. I think this is a movie. Go into it not knowing much. Just know it's about a podcaster and her host listening to some very eerie audios, and things take a left turn, and it's just crazy. It's wacky in a horrific way, and kind of weird, and just will make you be like, what the fuck am I watching? But very excited for that. Another film I'm excited for as well, the spring lineup looks to be one of the best spring lineups in horror in a long time, because we also get Faces of Death, a film I've been anticipating since I first heard it was being made. Audience reactions, test audiences have said that this is amazing, but they've released a teaser that got taken down off of YouTube because it was too much, from the director of Cam, How to Blow Up a Pipeline, as well as co-written by the writer of Cam, Isa Mazzei, and Daniel Goldhaver. We have a new film that stars Barbara Ferreira, Decray Montgomery, Josie Toda, Jermaine Fowler, as well as Aaron Holiday, and Charlie XCX. This is a movie that has gotten some pretty rave reviews, like I said, from test audiences. It was filmed back in 2023, so it's been a long time coming for this one. And I'm excited. The teaser is not much here. I'm pretty sure we'll get more. I'm seated day one. I'm very excited for this as well. We did get an update for the follow-up to It Follows from Micah. She says, rumors have been spreading that it will be happening. I would stay positive because I've heard some great news recently. And, that's pretty much all we've got right there. She says, it's not all what I expected, which you would find Jay, which I thought was really interesting. I was like, whoa, cool, which I think the audience will probably have a similar reaction. I know this might sound cliche, but it's staying true to the original where we were bringing back all the same team. The story is very much still in that space, but it's just grander. I'm really excited for it. Writer-director David Robert Mitchell is back. Disaster Pizza is back. That's all I gotta hear, and I'm there. There was also a new short film for Resident Evil Requiem, which was pretty great, starring Micah Monroe. So definitely check that out if you haven't. But we did finally get some pretty exciting news regarding Mike Flanagan's The Exorcist, which already has a stacked cast. So let's go over some of the people that are in this. We have Scarlett Johansson, Jacoby Jupe, Diane Lane, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and now Lawrence Fishburne has joined the cast for this March 12, 2027 release. And it's sounding like we might just have the best Exorcist movie of all time on our hands with this cast and everybody involved here, the team. So definitely excited for this. Final piece of news is that we have heard a bit more about Terrifier 4, which is coming to us hopefully soon. Lauren Lavera was on Den of Geek, where she gave a bit of a status on what's to come. And she says, I haven't read any of the script yet. I don't think Damien's even done writing it as of right now. I'm sure he's close to be done based off things he has texted me and what he's been telling the press. But no, he's kept it completely under wraps from David, from myself, from all of the cast and crew. So it'll be a surprise. He also says, I want Jonathan to be alive. I want Gabby to be saved. And I want some sort of retribution for Sienna, however that will look. I think our girl's been through enough and she deserves a win. Whatever it will look like for her, whether or not she survives, I don't know, but I think she deserves a win. We have heard, of course, that this is going to dive deeper into Art's backstory, which will be revealed in the opening 50 minutes, according to Damien, but not much more has been said. Terrifier 4 should hopefully be out maybe next year if they start filming this year, but as of now, the last one came out in 2024, so a good 3 years. I mean, that's usually how much we usually wait for these sequels, so we'll see. And I do want to highlight Dead Lover having a trailer because I think Dead Lover is one of my favorite films over the last couple of years. Really love the push of like old school filmmaking here and just going out and doing something. Check it out. They also have a film, Honey Bunch, coming out in a couple of weeks, which I thought was a great film. So very excited. So we'll talk more about all of these things in separate videos for each of them. Some of them I want to give their own videos, so stay tuned. Specifically the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I want to discuss that. So I'll have some videos for you out this weekend. Let me know what you thought of all this horror news and if you're excited or not, and hit that subscribe and notification bell. 50,000 subscribers. Let's get to it. As always, stay safe, stay positive.